Well, there's a whole bunch of very practical reasons. One, let's look at the changes in the world. If you project the next 5 years, in the next 5 years, China, as an example, will graduate more people at university than the entire population of Canada. Now, how is that going to change the world of work? Well, I think substantively. And I'm not talking about China, we're talking about India, you're talking about Brazil, what they call the BRIC countries. So, number one, there's a lot of change going on in the world of work. Work can be done anywhere, anytime. We're in a global workforce. Toronto Star, about a year ago, announced that they laid off 60 people, and they moved those editorial jobs to the Philippines. Now, who could have ever imagined, number one, that the Toronto Star would do that? Number two, that those jobs, editorial jobs, could be done in the Philippines, right? So we live in a world that's highly competitive, pretty complex in the amount of options are out there. The options are, huge. The amount of options are out there, and the speed of change is changing. The change time is changing, and companies are utilizing employees much more like the entertainment business for a season, right? And then you go on to the next project, right? So you're seeing much more of the entertainment model in the business world. So there's a whole bunch of macro changes that are changing the world of work. So practically, why do you want to do this? Well, number one, where do you find job security? That's, for a lot of people, it is a reality. For all of us, it's a reality for me. I want job security. From an economic side and from an engagement side, I want to be secure in what I do. Well, how do I do that? How do I get that in a world that's changing with turbulence and change and all these things that are unpredictable? Well, you get that in a place where you're great, in the right situation, in the right career, in the right career path. So I think that practically, I say this is a very practical question. Yes, we can talk philosophically. There's a whole bunch of things to talk about, but practically, you'll have more job security. Practically, you'll earn more. Practically, you'll have less stress in your career. Practically, you'll find more opportunity coming your way because you're performing at a higher level. One of the things I say to clients is, you don't want to do a job, but you don't come in because you want to look for another job. You want opportunity to come your way. So I'm all about being in a situation you can perform at a very high level. Why? So that opportunity is flowing your way. You don't have to actually look for work. Actually, work seeks you out. And the other reality, the flip side of all these changes is now your opportunities can be global. So we had a client we were working with in the auto manufacturing industry, and he had gone through a process and now was doing really well at a management level, and he was recruited by a company in China. So I say to clients, there's a lot of opportunity. Not that everyone wants to go to China, but their opportunities are much at a much the competition is at a much broader context, but also the opportunities are at a much greater context if you're really good at something. So I think that the practical side also, people that are happier at work, are more engaged at work, are personally more fulfilled. And when people are personally more fulfilled, they have healthy relationships, better marriages, better partnerships, whatever that looks like. They're better parents. A lot of parents say to us, part of the reason I'm here is because I want to model what it means to do good work and to be engaged in work. Because when I go home, I don't want to be going home grumpy to my kids or my partner. I want to be going home maybe tired, and sometimes I have a grumpy day. We all have them, but I want to go home and I'm feeling fulfilled in what I'm doing, because we spend a lot of time at work. We have a lot of our life energy at work, and when work is working for us, our life is a lot better than work is not. So, and then philosophically, obviously, I think we're in this journey for everyone has different perspectives, but I think we're creative for a purpose. And I think it wasn't just to consume, although I like to consume, I like nice things. Like we were just talking about, I just got a new iPhone. I'm all excited about it. But that'll be exciting for the first little bit, and then I'll be just using it, right? But I do think we're here to contribute. So philosophically, I think when we're doing work that's suited for us, I think we can contribute at a higher level, and I think everyone wins out of that. I think the world's a better place for that. I also think too that you're in a situation where you can help more people, and all around your life is more complete. Not that work should be defined. So I'm not a big advocate that work should be your life, but I do think that work is an important part of our life, and how do we integrate it more? And I think that people are fulfilled in their work are better in that. And I was talking to another client recently, and he said, Alan, as much as I don't like this, when I go home from work, if I don't like it, I'll start thinking about it. And I found I think less about work when I'm at home when I enjoy it. So that's the paradox, is when you enjoy something, you can actually have better segmentation between work and home and other parts of your life. And when you don't enjoy it, then it's sort of like, oh, it's Sunday night, and it starts to interfere with the rest of your life. So I think there's a whole bunch of really good. The other interesting thing is just practically, another practical thing is, University of Texas School of Public Health did research on those who love their work and those that didn't like their work. And it was a long study, so it looked over a 20-year period. And it looked at a group of employees in the public service so they could track them. Those that ranked themselves a 1 out of 4, i.e. the lowest, 10 years after retirement, they had a 43% high risk of death. So when we talk about this whole concept of Freedom 55, why is Freedom 55 such a popular brand? Well, I think it's a great idea of financial planning, absolutely. I think it's also speaking to the reality that people feel trapped, or the myth that if I can just ride it out till I'm 55, then I can enjoy the rest of my life. And I think the concept is never too soon and it's never too late. And practically, longevity-wise, you want to have a longer, live longer. We spend a lot of time at work, and if work isn't working for you, you're going to have to incur a lot of stress in your body and mentally and physically, and that shows up later on in your life. So there's all kinds of really neat benefits to this. Not to mention, work can be fun.